but we have to secure our own country and keep it secure, because otherwise the United States of America is going to be flooded with people. Where would people draw the line? Is it 100 million, 10 million illegals a year, 30, 100 million? What is it going to be? People coming in from all over the world? Are we just going to start welcoming, planes and shiploads of people over here as illegals? No, that's not what the United States of America is about.
And then anchor babies, pay for everything as we go bankrupt. But again, that's what the big mega banks want. They want to bankrupt us, so we go into receivership. Yeah, exactly. And then the anchor baby thing is a whole other issue, which, that law is totally misused. I mean, it was written during just after the Civil War for the children of slaves so that they could stay in the country legally. And it's been totally, like a lot of our laws, just abused and used. I mean, they've got baby drop houses over here where people come over, women come over just to have babies so that they'll be American citizens. And not to mention the whole illegal thing. Oh, yeah. Big foundations put ads in the Mexican newspaper saying, come over, have your baby, here's how to do it. Yeah, and, another thing I wanted to mention about that, too, is they say that we need the workers over here, the farm workers and that sort of thing. Okay, fine. So we come up with some kind of a program that allows them to come in and work and then go back home. But that's all baloney, too. All that does is drive the wages down of farm workers. Stay there, both of you. I want to play these Congressman Stark clips. He says the federal government can do whatever it wants. Can you imagine
George Strait was singing,
flying over to Germany as an American citizen and demanding free welfare and that your baby be paid for? You land a plane, a week later at a hotel, your water breaks, you go have the child becomes a German citizen, your whole family can now stay there and get welfare, and then you run around on the streets and take over soccer games with Mexican flags running around, and then you go to German schools and tell the kids they can't wear German flags because you're offended by it. Then you have giant rallies. There's 30 million of you, and you chant, basically down with Germany. Or if you moved to China and did the same thing. But our government is treasonous and treacherous, and now Sheriff Babu's coming out and saying our own government has become our enemy. And they take the goodwill, the hospitality of the American people, and they make it into a sick joke. The United States is being sacrificed on the altar of globalism. Steve Kemp and Sandi Jacobs, Golden Gate Minutemen.org are our guest. This is a short segment, long segment coming up. I want to start by playing a clip we've already played and get their comment on it. We'll play the new clip in the next segment. This is Congressman Stark a few months ago saying there's no border problem in Arizona and arrogantly saying, oh, who are you going to shoot today? Just saying basically you're murderers. And there's no border problem, and talking to them like they're children. This is the face of arrogance. Here it is.
Have something to say?
Yep.
Who are you going to kill today?
Who are we going to kill today?
Yeah.
Well, I just would like to know, actually American citizens are being killed right now by this drug war that's going on.
That's right.
Okay, I want to know why the federal government is not doing anything, or a lot more, to seal our borders in this country so that we're a solvent country again.
Well, we can't get enough Minutemen armed. We'd like to get all the Minutemen armed so that they can stop shooting people here.
It's not our job. We're just citizens. It's the United States government constitutionally protect us.
Well, so I say we'll try and get you some more arms and get you down there to.
We don't want to go down there. We want to have lives, normal lives. We pay taxes, and we pay to have the government take care of our borders.
Is that all?
Is that all what?
The government should do?
Well, that's one of the things the government is supposed to do. That's what the federal government is there for. They said they were going to do it, and they're not doing it.
Well, then we don't need the Minutemen.
That's correct. But we don't want it.
Well, then let's send the Minutemen home. That's a good idea.
No, why don't you answer the question?
Answer the question. I want to hear your answer.
What answer?
I want to hear smart answers.
Wait a minute. You don't want to. What kind of an answer would you like, young man? He asked the question. Look, can I answer? Do you mind if I answer his question? Excuse me. You'll get your turn.
Please do answer the question.
Yeah, what's your question?
The question is, why is the federal government leaving our borders porous for anybody to come in anywhere they want?
If you knew anything about our borders, you would know that that's not the case. Our borders are quite secure, thank you.
How do you know that?
Okay. Our borders are quite secure. Total arrogance, total contempt. He talks to them like they're children. Oh, you don't want to murder some people. Well, that's good. We don't need the Minutemen then. And he talks to all his idiot constituents, you know, that are supporting him. But most of the people didn't support him. They're not idiots. Going back to Steve Kemp and Sandi Jacobs, guys, I mean, it's horrible watching the video. But what is it like to have him basically calling you murderers and then telling you there's no problem on the border?
Well, I mean, he's been calling us names for years, so that no longer bothers me. But the other people who are just coming into light of all this, they're offended. And, you know, the first thing we need to do is secure the borders. And why would we want to do anything after that until we have an actual entry-exit program that literally works and is enforced? Because we can't even say, oh, according to them, we can't even track who's here, and we don't know where they live.
Well, again, they're arrogant because they're the ones engaged in treason. They're the ones supporting this racist La Reconquista, and so they've got to put it back on you. You're a racist. You're a murderer. Who you going to kill today, lady? You dare come ask me about the border. Who you going to murder today? It's like, I don't want government-run health care. Oh, you're a racist. I don't want to turn my guns in. Oh, you're a racist. They're just cold-bloodedly doing this. They think they're going to get away with it. Steve, your take on this?
Well, yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, you know, sitting in the meeting, that particular meeting that you played the clip from, most of the people in there were essentially Stark supporters, and they go to the meetings, and they're pretty, you know, vanilla-type meetings. So I brought up that point, and what happened was I believe that Stark was trying to make fun of me so the rest of his constituents and the audience would just laugh, you know, go along with him. But it backfired, and people got really ticked off, you know. It's like most people want the border secured, and they want this problem solved in a rational way.
Well, stay there. Let's talk more about it when we come back. I mean, of course they got mad. He's arrogantly treating everybody like they're morons.
Broadcasting worldwide, it's Alex Jones.
Steve Kemp and Sandi Jacobs are our guests. Coming up towards the end of this segment, I'm going to take a few calls specifically on the outrageous nature of the illegal aliens funded by the federal government and the big corporations, saying, take your American flag off your shirt, send those kids home from school, take that American flag down off the post office, take it off that auto parts store. This is Mexico. Go home, pilgrims. Go back to Europe. Taking over baseball games, screaming Mexico, Mexico, waving flags. Mexico's collapsing. There's death threats, farmers being killed, police being killed, hits, contracts have been put out, and the media is running the hoax that Minutemen are out murdering people, and they've got a big Robert Rodriguez movie coming out. We got the script, became national news a few months ago, comes out in September. Machete, and he claims he's edited the stuff out, but in the script, it's white people are all racist, out murdering Hispanic children and crucifying priests and have to be killed. And there's a La Reconquista, we didn't cross the border, it crossed us, and the gringos die. And I mean, this is all government funded. Now, going back to Steve and Sandi, finishing up your comments about what he said, that there's no border problem, similar to what Reed has said, and then we'll get to the new video clip, even more outrageous, saying the feds can do anything they want and make you do anything in your individual life they want. You are their slave. But comments on the last video.
Yeah, on the last video, you know, he was, I think, taken by surprise that the people in the audience reacted the way they did to him. They didn't go along with it, and it really ticked them off. And we're talking about an audience of mixed people out there. There are Asian people, Hispanic, you know, people from the Bay Area, essentially, which is the big melting pot here. And a lot of people are ticked off, and essentially the Hispanic Americans, you know, nationalized or otherwise, or people who are born here, they're really ticked off at what's going on with the illegal immigration, just like the rest of us. And I'd like to add that illegal immigration just isn't from south-of-the border. It's from all over the world. It just so happens that we see more of it from south-of-the border because we happen to live in border
Yeah, 80% of it roughly is from Mexico. And people see the standard of living going down. They see the states going bankrupt. And that's the big hoax. The media says all Hispanics want open borders. I've seen polls of well over 70% want to control our borders. They understand what's happening. They're Americans. They don't want to run around with Mexican flags screaming La Reconquista, just like most white people don't want to join the Ku Klux Klan. Yeah, and I'll say this, too, about a lot of people in the country don't realize what it's like. I mean, they see the gardener, they see the housekeeper and say, okay, this, that, or the other thing, they're harmless people. When you go out to some of these protest rallies in a place like San Francisco, you really see what's going on out there. You see people that are in your face, angry, sprouting off everything that they can, calling you racist, all these names and whatnot. And I'd also while wearing Aslan shirts. And for folks that don't know what Aslan is, tell them. Aslan is they want their form of government in here. Yeah, it's a racial, well, La Raza means for those in the race, everything, for those outside the race, nothing. I mean, that's the slogan. That's the big national group. Sorry, make the other point you wanted to make. The other point is about the children of illegals who are essentially the anchor babies under the 14th Amendment. They are legal citizens as they're born here. You could say that the first generation comes in here and they work hard because they understand what it's like to be poor and need things. So they come in, they do whatever they can to make a living. That is not necessarily true with their children. So then what's going to happen on the next generation is you're going to have a whole new batch of people coming in, illegals coming in. No, that's already happening, and we see that with anybody getting decadent, and the gangbanger culture is so popular, and we know what's happening. Right, exactly. The second generation is not going to follow the first, then you got to import another generation to take care of these, quote, jobs that Americans won't do. I don't know what Americans are going to do because we don't have manufacturing left here. We don't have this. We don't have that anymore. It's all being exported. Labor's being imported, exported. America had better wake up that this country is on its way down. I mean, we're in a what do they call it, death spiral. Oh yeah, and our kids, we're almost on the ground. They can't even find jobs right now. I mean, they're being indoctrinated in our schools to accept all this. I mean, Congressman Stark says, we asked him, do you support E-Verify? And he's all, well, not the unconstitutional parts of it, just like the Arizona law, unconstitutional. It's crazy. Why do these folks see themselves as being from Mexico, and why do they love flying Mexican flags? I mean, it's so elementary. You've got LULAC and MOLDEF, and you've got Mecha and La Raza all openly saying this is really Mexico. Why are they fleeing Mexico and then saying they want to live under the same tyranny? Why are they so nationalistic? Well, they hold no allegiance to the United States, for one. And, I mean, I'm sure if you were in the position in Mexico, you'd want all the freebies we're handing out left and right. We really do have a despicable government. I think what Sheriff Babu says in the Cyber News Service today, quote, our own government has become our enemy. I mean, that's really, that's what's happening. And they need to get amnesty before the full depression arrives, because then they know it's going to be very hard to get it done. And the open borders have already irrevocably damaged the country. The question is, will it be allowed to fully destroy the nation? Yeah, definitely. Okay, now tell us about this next clip. And again, if people want to watch the full video, they can go to GoldenGateMinutemen.org or the story on PrisonPlanet.com. Obama supporter Stark, feds can do anything. I mean, this is an amazing video. Tell us about this video we're about to play. This video was shot at the last Stark Town Hall meeting, which was the Saturday before last. And it was quite a different story from the other one. A lot of people showed up there who were really ticked off at Stark, and because the first video went viral on YouTube. And the clip that you're going to show right now is a woman that was sitting directly behind me, and she just had some very, some very quick points at Stark, and Stark basically said what he's about to say here. It was amazing. She's enlightened. She's powerful. She's informed. She's got the spirit that will save this republic, and I salute this lady. Do we know her name?